All right, time for the WebBot update. Now I've got two reports open, the June and the August. I've actually skipped over July. But anyway, I'm trying to think, was there? Yeah, there was early July. Anyways, I just knew, but this was already in there, and I had people emailing me anyways. Thank you guys, just to remind me anyways, because sometimes I do forget things. I got so much going into my brain every day. It's hard to retain everything. But I'm going to read you the story first. This is in Netherlands. I'm not sure how they pronounce this town. It looks like Twente or Twint. A 2020. Overnight. This is posted August 11th, 2016. And just an FYI, the WebBot report was given to me by Cliff High Tuesday, August the 2nd. Not quite 2 weeks ago, but almost. Of course, the one in June was June 3rd, so we're talking 2 months ago. So let me read this to you. Overnight, temperatures drop to 0 in Twente. I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that right, so bear with me on that one. Let's analyze that title first. It didn't say this week, it's been kind of chilly, and then we've got the 0. Literally last night, and again, today's the 11th, and this article is from the 11th. You will be watching this video tomorrow morning, the 12th. So essentially, the 10th of August, that night, becoming into the 11th, is when this occurred. Definitely after the WebBot was published. WebBot report. Overnight temperatures dropped to 0 in Twente. The mercury in Twente dropped to a very cold 0 degrees during the early hours of Thursday morning. This is the, by the way, this isn't some, nonsense site. It's NL Times. This is New Zealand. This is like a news site from New Zealand. The mercury in Twente dropped to a cold 0 degrees during the early hours of Thursday morning. This is the, here it goes, ready? Here it goes. This is the first time ever temperatures dropped so low in the Netherlands during this time of the year, according to weather service Weer Online. In the period between July 20th to August 21st, there's never been frost on Dutch soil. The past night, that very nearly changed. On August 22nd, 1973, however, there was frost in Twente, Soesterberg, and Valkenburg. Just those two little areas. Thursday will stay cold and cloudy. The maximum will be around 16 degrees. The eastern parts of the country may not see temperature above 14 degrees today. The rest of the week and weekend will also be mostly cloudy and cool, with maximum temperatures around 20 degrees, according to Meteorological Institute, KNMI. So that's it for the news story. Okay? Never before things have happened like this. So I've cracked open the June WebBot Alta report and just search for the word weather. Like temperature outside, weather, These many sets are also extensively cross-linked within the global pop entity over to subsets showing that food pressures coming later in fall, Northern Hemisphere 2016, are also going to be bringing about a situation of government versus damn near everyone, as the shortages created by bad growing weather in 2016 caused something to fail to show up to a shelf near you. Other news, clustering around the many linguistic structures related to climate change, the data sets are showing that flooding and drought will dominate the language in many of the same locations, merely separated by a few weeks' time. These sets are also indicating several episodes of banded winds coming in 2016 and early 2017, in which the winds will separate the continent into three bands of divergent weather. The divergent weather sets include references to abnormal precipitation, which will include ice, in regions never before exposed to such thing. What did that article just say? During these months, this place never gets ice, frost on the ground, for God's sakes. It's freezing outside. There's ice all over the place. Frost. That would be a hit right there. This is just the June one. I'm just going to keep searching for the word weather and read you what it says. I'm still in June. Webbot report. The energy deprivation that is forecast is very long-lasting, and that the longer-term values continue to accrue to the linguistic structure. The data further goes to exacerbation by way of weather (parentheses ice age) change. These sets are forecasting that increasing need and decreasing availability will be crossing in the near future as the climate alters to ice age conditions. Additional problems for the energy production not only comes from the colder conditions of and out of place cold conditions, but also from sudden oil depletion syndrome, in which the cap to the oil pool will be undone by stretching planet. What else do we have for weather? That's it for the word weather in June. Let's go right to August now. August. And this is actually a section under when he was talking about India pop, but he says this is actually under global pop, but we're drilling into the India pop, but this is part of the global pop. Entity is showing that sympathy is going to be needed for the peoples of the Hind, or is that Hind? No, not Hind, Hind as in Hindu. As the too hot, then too wet, then too cold weather pattern reaches record levels in all categories. Up next are sets showing that weak fronts will fail to hold off an unexpected turn in weather that will be bringing large amounts of rain to all of the wrong places. Our model space shows that both the floods and the muds are going to be real problems for the lowlands as the ferocity of both pick up over August. In spite of the levels of flooding seen so far this summer, the worst is yet to come. And then that is going to be followed by weather that goes beyond odd. The data is forecasting that the usual expectations for a fall weather turn are going to be put into doubt as persistent and odd weather patterns emerge over much of the vast center of the Hind, or old name of Indian subcontinent. This is indicated to force away the usual shifts in winds that bring in the fall weather patterns. Again, with most of the planet, new patterns are emerging that are going to cause shifts in the human population, both in what we do and where we do it. Hold on. Where's our other part? Or was that it? Hang on one second. One momento. All right, I was trying to find this other spot. Here it is. I'll start with this just above this, just for a little bonus. The forecasts are bringing up the language that we are going to be using, and these include earthquakes, tornadoes, and yet more floods, especially those that move houses and shift populations locally. Many of these sets include the mountains of Central Europe and the mountains of France. There are new Earth changes sets that are forecasting a brief and way early dip straight into winter, as snow and freezing temperatures will be the headlines for many places across the Northern Hemisphere in September. I realize we're in August. We got a month to go till September. But it did say it was coming very soon. And the one in June I read you, and now this one. This JSNP 4 stamp of approval. Web bot hit. For sure. Take care.